Okay, we are here in Lamborghini, Manila. We are here to check out the Huracan STO. The STO is the latest and greatest of the Lamborghinis. It is wider, it is lighter than all the other cars, but it has the same amount of power as the Performante. Why do we like this car? We like the O. O means omologato. This is basically a comfortable version of the Super Trofeo race car. The Super Trofeo race car, which they use in the races around the world, has metal interiors and roll bars and so on, which just don't work with the hugely wealthy people who will buy this car. So you need other things. So it has things like 2 seats to make it a slightly more comfortable. We are here with Eric. Eric, tell us about this car. How is this car the same and how is it different from the Super Trofeo race car?
Okay, Carl, thank you very much. First of all, the STO was created based from the triumph and victories of the Squadra Force cars, the Super Trofeo cars. And it has aerodynamic features quite similar to the Super Trofeo cars. And in terms of power to weight ratio, it's quite similar because power to weight ratio for the Super Trofeo cars is 2.0 horsepower per kilogram,
okay,
while the Super Trofeo Omologato is 2.09. There's a difference.
That's not even 0.1 kilo.
Yeah, yes. And then we're using the CCMR F1 technology brakes. So
okay,
it's about 25% more braking power and more heat and stress resistant,
okay,
compared to the ceramic brakes.
Okay. How does this compare to the Performante?
Okay, yeah, it's always being compared. This is 43 kilograms lighter than the Performante.
Okay.
And for the Performante, actually, both of them has 640 horsepower. Both of them has naturally aspirated, but this has 57% more downforce than the Performante.
Okay.
In 37% aerodynamic efficient than the Performante.
Okay.
The Lamborghini factory has seen to it that this car has the performance of a race car.
Okay.
But you can drive it also on roads.
Okay.
It gives a maximum fun to drive experience driving it on the road.
Okay. Okay, this is one of the interesting things about this car. I like the level of detail that Lamborghini has for a lot of little things. This is where you would normally open your hood. That's not what this is gonna do. This is a 3D printed little key. And if you look at it, what happens is it fits into things like this. Okay, you do this, watch this. And then you do that on the other side. And then you push this. And then you push this. And then you very carefully lift the entire thing up. Okay? Now this is one piece, basically, this part. And can you imagine how much work has to go into making this thing be this flexible while at the same time handling the amount of insane downforce that this thing has to do while channeling air out through here and out there. Now, if you see this, if you look here, that's a vent. Okay, so these are the vents that are coming through there, they're going out there, they're going there, but there's a space here. And this space is important because you get this thing. This thing is where you put your helmet. So if you want to go racing for the day and you have nowhere to, because there is no cargo space, this goes in there and you put your helmet in there. Okay, so that is it, the Lamborghini Huracan STO. Understand that within Lamborghini's time frame, they have committed to having all their cars electrified within the next 2 years. So what does this mean? Does this mean this is going to be the most collectible Huracan ever? Is this going to be the last one? We don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. One thing is for sure though is that this, right now, it is the lightest Huracan ever. It is slightly wider than any other Huracan. It has an awesome power to weight ratio that is kind of matched or beaten only by the race cars. Okay, what Maurizio said was that when they built this car, when they designed this car, they wanted to make it as close as possible to the race cars while still being drivable. They talked to the race car drivers, the guys doing GT3, the guys doing the one make series, and what they said was what's important in the race car that we're not seeing in the street cars is the way you enter and the way you exit a corner. So it's much, much better in the race car. So they've tried to adjust that. They've done that by doing things like the rear wheel steering system they've got going for that helps you kind of mimic the camber changes you need to do in a race car. But you actually have telemetry for this car. So there's a lot of little things that help you run this car far better on, let's say, a track day than you ever would regularly. You also have the telemetry. There's an app that will allow you to pull out the data and then potentially change it, or just adjust it, show it to your driving coach or whatever, and help tell him, he can tell you, for example, okay, you need to be going into this corner harder, you need to be going into this corner slower so you can get out faster, all these little things. All that telemetry will be available on your phone. Basically, it is the equivalent of what 5 guys doing your computer are, but now you have it on your phone. So that is why this is what Lamborghini says is the closest to the track experience you're going to get in a legal road car. So that's the STO. We like it, we love it, we enjoy it, we want to drive it, we want to play with it. I'm amazed they let us alone. There's nobody else here. We should just leave.